One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game. We searching for fortune and fame. So allegedly, Ezekiel Elliott's pool cleaning lady, she's a lady, believe it or not, she's a lady, she cleaned the pools or what have you, is saying that Ezekiel Elliott's dog that ripped her arm apart and jumped all over her. Now, here's the thing. The lady was not supposed to come over to Ezekiel Elliott's house to clean the pool. She didn't have authorizations, prior authorizations, pre-authorizations, or no type of clearance to clean the pool on that day. Now, I'm from the country. I'm from the real deep down in the country, Natchez, Mississippi. And dogs are life to us right now. You know what I mean? Down that way, if you go into our property and you didn't have any type of clearance, look, I'm a firm believer that your dog should never be on chains, right? Never should be on ropes. I think that your dog should be able to live life freely. Just be on his own. Stayed on 3 acres of land, so the dog never knew what a chain was about. Nevertheless, if something happened to come onto the property and that dog is not aware of that person, they could have been on the property before time. And I had one of those German Shepherds. Those dogs are very sneaky. Man, may Prince rest in peace, man. That was one of the coldest dogs I ever seen in my life. That German Shepherd, he would sit there and say, okay, oh, you big and brave and bad enough to go onto the property, my property, without my owner's permission? You see, he was smart enough to allow you to get onto the premises, right? And make sure that your escape hatch will not be possible. He'll allow you enough to get enough to the land, close enough to the property. And when you get onto that land and you hit a certain landmark, he coming full force with no regrets. For real. And I love every bit of it. People fail to realize the reason why dogs are man's best friend, because they will fight to the death. Let me repeat, they will fight to the death, regardless of you're male, female, black, white, orange, whatever it may be. That dog will fight to his death to protect and defend your property. Believe it or not, nation. So, to make a long story short, this lady is suing Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish, for $200,000, less than $1 million of how the report is put out there. Now, Ezekiel Elliott's camp is sitting there saying, hey, she didn't have any permission to be on the property. She pretty much trespassed, and it's not our fault that she got mauled by our dogs. Now, I'm going to show you guys some of the pictures. Now, graphics may be nasty, so for those who can't hold their own, you might want to turn away. See, there's a warning sign right here, and this is the gruesome picture that dog done laid some good bites on her. Allegedly. She could have got this done by a famous makeup artist or whatever, or she could have tripped and fell somewhere else, or something else could have happened, but this is what she got. And it's nasty. That dog is trying to protect Ezekiel Elliott's property. Ezekiel Elliott, this is a person that didn't have permission to be on the property. And on top of that, that's a nasty dog bite. That's a nasty dog bite. And it even got the inside of the leg, you poor little lady leg, got the inside of the lady leg. Now, here's the thing. In Texas, there is pretty much a common courtesy type of law out there. And it's not to hold the dog owner liable for these actions or liable for these situations against his particular or her particular dog. It's called Beware of Dog sign. And, you know, I love the law, right? Shout out to the laws, right? Here's the thing. The beware of dog sign is only permissible if your dog have known tendencies to be aggressive. Now, Rottweilers by nature are aggressive type of animals, but they protect. They are built in the sense to take down all types of predators, you know, all types of things that go into the fact or come into the fact of your property or land. And trust me, if the dog feels that, hey, this lady is aggressively on my property, then I'm going to be aggressively to protect my property. And that's just how Rottweilers are. So I believe that the dogs feel that this particular lady was not clear. They didn't know of her scent. She came in there with malice intentions, whatever it may be. But who comes to clean a pool? Who comes to clean a pool on a day that they didn't supposed to? The rules of Ezekiel Elliott property, because he is a superstar. He is a celeb up there in Frisco. We understand the situation. It could be anybody tiptoeing in on the property, and by him not being there, or it could be the situation if he could be just like me. He don't believe in caging and putting chains on his dogs. And here's the real thing, Reddit Cowboy Nation. We know that people love to seek attention, want the money, and we know that $200,000 may not be nothing to some, but $200,000 can change a person's life all at once too. They're saying that she is suing for that amount of money because this incident happened in March and she have not been at work since that time frame. Now, I will say this. There's a thing called dual negligence. Dual negligence is, for one, if Ezekiel, and I'm only speaking from the ramifications of allegedly. If allegedly Ezekiel Elliott do not have that beware of dog sign out there, then that could be the only angle that she can probably sue at and say, well, I was not aware of the dogs. I was not aware of the aggressive intent of the dogs. I had my days screwed up. I came over to clean the pool and I got mauled. There's been certain situations where people will hop the fence to certain people's houses and go swimming in their swimming pool and drown and die or what have you, or drown or be seriously injured. And they turn around and sue the person that owns the pool or sue the person that owns that the pool is on, the property and everything else. And they won those cases. Nevertheless, in this type of situation, I believe that there could have been some type of contract signed, meaning that, hey, the only time that you come over to my particular domain or my particular home, dwelling, house, what have you, is when I say so, because I have wild dogs, basically, or I have dogs, or I have aggressive type of dogs. And she said those dogs jumped on her and ripped her apart. My thing is, the only thing that can pretty much let this thing go over if Ezekiel do not want to fight. If his camp look at it and say, well, you know what, we'll settle. You requesting 200,000, we'll give you 150,000, or we give you 100,000, or we'll settle for 50,000, so that we won't go to trial, so we won't have to go back to court sessions and things like that. My client is trying to focus and concentrate on football, not dog cases. But the craziest thing of it all is we know that we can look at pictures and we can see that the dogs are not aggressive. When we go back and look at the interview that my dog Scooter Magruder had with Ezekiel Elliott, you can see that those dogs are happy-go-lucky, and pretty much they are pretty much indoor and outdoor type of dogs. He allowed them to roam freely, and I believe that that lady came tiptoeing on the property without permission, and she got dealt with by the dogs, by the true security enforcement. Now, I will say this. This should be a lesson learned for the young lady, not a sue or a lawsuit or, hey, it's a money grab trying to seek fortune and fame. You know, one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. Man, that song going platinum again. Shout out to Tupac too, man. Nevertheless, I would like for the young lady to look at this thing, collectively speaking, and say, well, dog, I messed up. I went over this man's property without his permission, because normally he would put the dogs away. His intentions were never to harm me, but my intentions is to get back on the workforce. I believe that sincerity and sincere heart will get you longer than just reaching for the money. I think that the young lady, because Ezekiel Elliott, people in his camp seems as if though they are good people. I think that she should reach back out to them and say, hey, there should be no lawsuit. I just want to tell you that I made a horrible mistake. I came onto your property without your permission. I had my days screwed up, and your dogs, man, they ripped my arm apart. If this story is all true, because it all says allegedly from TMZ and of course from other news syndicates. But I will say this, be careful people that go out there that do services for people. You never know. You never know what's going on behind closed walls, closed doors. And if you so happen to be in the business of services, remember this. You are giving your services to someone else. You are invading your time, your mind and everything else to someone else. And it's probably to be best for you to get permission before you get to turning on doors, before you begin to knock it and say, oh, the door is slightly open. Let me go ahead and enter. That does not mean that. You never know. People could have wild snakes, wild hogs. I'm from Mississippi, so you guys know wild chickens. A chicken can wear you out. Boy, a pet chicken can wear you out. You thinking you finna get a 2-piece and a biscuit? Boy, you can get your butt whooped by some chickens. Some chickens, believe it or not. So, with all that being said, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to The Nation. If you feel that the lady that went to go clean Ezekiel Elliott's pool is in right lane to sue, then comment down below. If you think that if it's Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know. I haven't been out to Ezekiel Elliott property. If he have dogs that's roaming free, and according to the Texas law, should he put beware of dog sign on the outside perimeter of his fence, gate, or property to let people know, hey, and also put no trespassing? Should he put those signs, those warning signs? Remember, the sign is only because it don't hold the owner liable if you don't have it, but it's only out there to put out there so that the people can be aware, just in case you hop over that gate and that dog wear you out a new one, right? That sign does not protect you, but nevertheless, it warns people and it gives less room for the person to say, well, I wasn't aware of the dog being aggressive, basically. And the dog did a dog, that type of things. Or do you feel that Ezekiel Elliott should not ever settle for this? He should fight this thing, go on and on and on with court situations with this thing and cave in and say, okay, lady, here's your $200,000. Get out of my face. I'm Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott. Or should he go to Jerry Wayne and say, hey, I got this case over here in Frisco. Lady hopped the gate or went through the gate to clean my pool. Dog came out and did dogs type of things. Jerry, what's up? You got 200. You got 200K for me. Do you got some emergency funds for me? I'm Ezekiel Elliott. Or Jerry like, hey, that's your problem. You handle that, you know. Or Jerry might pick up the phone and say, Zeke, who? Where that dog at? Maybe we can put that dog out here on the offense and the defense, you know. Just joking. Y'all feel what I'm saying? That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. And leave them dogs alone, baby. Y'all leave them dogs alone. Let them dogs roam free. Don't put these dogs on chain. Let them dogs run free, baby. Let's go.